The FIFA Club World Cup final is happening really soon, so it's only right that I give you my prediction for this epic finale. And this match is going to be an exciting one, with underdogs Chelsea trying to win this tournament, while PSG are trying to continue their dominance, and if they win this trophy, they can for sure say they're the best team in the world. So with that being said, let's find out what I think will happen in this match with my prediction. And trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end, because my prediction might surprise y'all. Now to start this final off, let's talk about Chelsea's Club World Cup campaign first, and we're going to review everything that's happened thus far, including previous information from the previous videos to new information like what happened in the semifinal. So yeah, let's run it. Now Chelsea were feeling themselves heading into this Club World Cup. They secured a Champions League spot due to them finishing 4th place in the Prem, and they also are coming off winning the Conference League. And with their confidence being at an all-time high, it was only natural that they would start this tournament in winning ways, which they did against LAFC in an almost empty stadium. But low-key, it was like 2 p.m. on a Monday. People in America gotta go to work. Regardless of that, Chelsea did the business, with them dominating the game on the stat sheet and on the scoreline, with Pedro Neto scoring in the 34th minute from a wonderful strike, and the super sub in this game, Enzo Fernandez, scoring in the 79th minute to help Chelsea beat the MLS side 2-0. A good start for the Blues. However, the next game against Flamengo would not go to plan for the Premier League side. Although Pedro Neto would put Chelsea up early 1-0 thanks to his wonderful solo goal in the 13th minute, Chelsea would capitulate completely in the second half. First thanks to Flamengo legend Bruno Henrique, who scored in the 62nd minute for the Brazilian side to equalize, then an ex-Brazilian player who used to play in Europe, Danilo, scoring 3 minutes later in the 65th minute to help Flamengo claim the lead, and after Nicholas Jackson got another stupid red card, bro really got suspended in his last Premier League game and now at the Club World Cup. That's crazy. Wallace Yang was scored in the 83rd minute for Flamengo to help them win 3-1 against Chelsea. And with Chelsea losing this game, this meant they were put in a difficult situation where they had to win against Tunisia side Esperance, who just came away with a 1-0 victory over LAFC. But let's be real, Chelsea were always going to win this one. And thanks to pure domination on the stat sheet and 3 goals, including Liam Delap's first one for his new club, Chelsea would win 3-0 and they would progress through from this group in 2nd place, which is why they had to play Benfica in the round of 16, since they're the ones who topped their group. Now in this game, I guess you can say Benfica were listed as the favorites from this match, but ball watchers like me, pause, hey yo, always knew that Chelsea was going to take this one, and they completely dominated the match, having 22 shots to Benfica's 8, 12 shots on target to Benfica's 5, and 64% possession. It was pure domination for Chelsea from almost start to finish, and although nothing really happened in the first half, the second half would start with a bang thanks to Reece James, who I could finally glaze and not tear him down due to my Trent Alexander-Arnold propaganda, because Trent doesn't play for Liverpool anymore, so I don't gotta be his hype man anymore, you feel me? And no cap, Reece James is just class, man. His biggest issue is his availability, so let's see if he can stay healthy. Regardless, in the 64th minute, he saw the keeper leave the near post wide open from a free kick and aimed it perfectly to that side and scored to put Chelsea up ahead 1-0. What a free kick from Reece James. And from here on, it seemed like Chelsea were in cruise control, and I thought they would see the game out with ease. But then, for the 7th time at this tournament up to this point, the game had to be delayed due to lightning in the area. Bro, what is going on the East Coast? Meanwhile, in California, I don't think I've seen a single cloud in like a month. It's straight sunshine over here, baby. Anyways, with that, the game was delayed by 2 hours, and your boy went ahead and started watching Squid Game Season 3. This show was so peak, bro. But anyways, while I was watching Squid Game, when I checked my phone to see the score, to see whether the game had resumed or not, I saw Benfica actually scored a goal, with Malo Gusto handballing the ball in the box in injury time, and Angel Di Maria scored from the spot to take the game to extra time. Chelsea were hard done by, not gonna cap. But luckily for the Blues, they did make extra time count. First, Benfica went down in 10 men due to a stupid red card from Bresciani in the 92nd minute. Then Christopher Nkunku would help Chelsea take the lead again after scoring from a defensive mistake from Benfica's goalkeeper in the 108th minute. Pedro Neto, whose stock has risen up at the Club World Cup, scored a 1-on-1 chance in the 114th minute, and Dewsbury Hall would get his goal for Chelsea in the 117th minute to help Chelsea beat Benfica 4-1. Look, I feel bad for this is the way that Di Maria is going to go out with his last game for Benfica, but Chelsea deserved the W for keeping it 100. And with this win, Chelsea had to play Palmeiras in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. Now, I'm not going to cap, I thought Palmeiras were going to pull off the upset. I mean, it has been a Brazilian club takeover at the Club World Cup, and I thought the story was going to continue through Palmeiras, not Fluminense. But Jinx Buto low-key striked again, because I went 0-for-2 in this semifinal matchup. Instead of Al Hilal versus Palmeiras, it's actually Fluminense versus Chelsea. Damn, I don't know if I'm ever going to beat the allegations. Anyways, this match as well honored Diego Jota, love to see it, and Pedro Neto even held up a jersey with Diogo and his brother Andre's name on it. Shout out Neto for that was mad wholesome. But then to the game, I mean, the first half was mad boring, but one exciting thing happened, and it was Cole Palmer scoring his first open play goal since January. Bro's played 2,000 minutes of football without scoring from open play. That's nuts. But anyways, it was a very well taken goal, with Palmer juking the Palmeiras defenders and scoring, so W Cole Palmer for that goal, I'm not gonna lie. But Palmeiras would find a way back to the game in the second half, and it was all thanks to the future Chelsea player actually Estevao, who got on the end of a good pass from Richard Rios and slammed the ball at the near post of Sanchez and scored to tap the game for Palmeiras. And this guy celebrated so hard after the goal too. Bro forgot he was about to join Chelsea straight after this match. That's too funny. But I'm glad he celebrated, or else that would have been utter woke nonsense. But sadly for Palmeiras, in heartbreaking fashion, Malo Gusto struck the ball in what was the worst goal I've ever seen at the Club World Cup, and somehow Weverton didn't save save it even though it took a slight deflection, and Chelsea restored their precious lead. And due to this goal, Chelsea won against Palmeiras 2-1, and now we were in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup, where Chelsea had to play against Fluminense, a side who pulled off upsets like beating Inter Milan and beating Al Hilal to get here. Now I low-key predicted Fluminense to make the final of the Club World Cup, because simply I thought their defense has been ridiculously good, and defenses win championships. And shamelessly, I'll admit, I wanted to see a Brazilian side in the final. I didn't want to see boring-ass Chelsea. I mean, I'm a Liverpool fan, bruh. Why would I want to see Chelsea in the final? I saw so many comments of Chelsea fans in my last video talking shit, which is fair enough. I mean, y'all are in the final, but what did you expect out of me? I just thought Chelsea weren't going to do that well. It's as simple as that. I mean, look at their route to the final, bruh. It's not like they went through such a difficult path. They had to walk in Candyland to get to this final. But anyways, let's talk about the Chelsea versus Fluminense game now. And I'll keep this one short and simple. It was the Joao Pedro show. The new signing got his first start for his new club Chelsea due to Leon Delap being suspended for the game and Nicholas Jackson just being cheeks and not impressing Maresca at all lately. So Joao Pedro got the start, and he did well. In the 18th minute, Joao Pedro was near the edge of the box and still found space to curl the ball to the top right bins to give Chelsea a 1-0 lead. And instead of celebrating the screamer like a madman, he chose not to. And that's because Fluminense is his boy club. So I can see why he didn't celebrate. Respect. But Chelsea didn't run over this game and dominate. Nope. Fluminense were actually close to coming back. Jean Arias was so close to scoring later in the first half, but Cucurella would clear the ball off the line just barely. And then at the end of the first half, it seemed like Fluminense won a penalty due to a Chalobah handball. But after a VAR review, the ref said his hand was in a natural position and the penalty was cancelled. But honestly, I feel like Fluminense was high-key robbed. I mean, come on, bruh. This was a blatant handball. This should have been a penalty in my books. But sadly for Fluminense in the second half, it went from bad to worse. And Joao Pedro would cut in from the left inside the box in the 56th minute and slam the ball off the crossbar into the back of the net to score another banger for Chelsea and get himself a brace. And of course, again, he chose not to celebrate. But after this, Fluminense failed to get themselves back in the game, and Chelsea would secure a 2-0 win and make the Club World Cup final. Well done, Chelsea. Well done. Even though I am a hater, you can only play the opponents in front of you, and Chelsea beat everybody they faced to make it here. Well, except for Mango, but that was a while back now. But before I give my prediction about the final, we gotta talk about PSG first. But before we do that, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot, so thank you. And also, if you guys can, follow my Twitter and my Instagram, both at Nabhuto, if you just want to hear my thoughts on football games, transfers, and overall, just to get to know me more. And also, make sure to join the Discord server, link in the description, and also follow me on Twitch. Live streams may be coming soon. So if you want to, feel free to follow my socials, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Anyways, it's now time to go over PSG's Club World Cup campaign so far, and explain how they got to the final, which will include older information like from older videos, and new information too, like their domination against Real Madrid in the semifinal. So let's get this thing started. Now, as we all know, PSG have definitely been the best team in Europe this past season, and they were heading into the Club World Cup in some great form. They won the French League by a hefty margin, won the Coupe de France, and secured a treble by slapping up Inter Milan in the Champions League final 5-0 to win their first ever Champions League. Safe to say, these guys were feeling confident, and I don't blame them. Their entire team is filled with ballers. I'm not going to go every single player, but they got the likes of Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Donnarumma, Barcola, Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia, Ousmane Dembele, etc. But PSG would actually miss Ousmane Dembele's presence in the first 3 games of the tournament, with him being out due to an injury he sustained during international duty. Now, talking about PSG's first game against Atletico Madrid, I mean, it went perfectly for the Paris side. They dominated the match on the stat sheet, having 16 shots to Atletico's 5, 11 shots on target to Atleti's measly 1, and had most of the possession with 75%. But also, most importantly, they dominated on the scoreboard too. They got their first goal in the 19th minute thanks to Fabian Ruiz, who scored a cracker to put PSG up 1-0. Then an injury time in the first half, Vitinha would score a banger of his own to double the lead before the second half. Moving on into the later stages of the game, the man who scored in the Champions League final, surprisingly, Mayolu, would back his own goal in the 87th minute to make it 3-0. And then Lee Kang-in would score from the spot in the 90+7th minute to secure a 4-0 win for PSG against Atletico Madrid. Goal difference is crucial, and for PSG to beat their main initial rivals in this group by a 4-goal margin was an amazing start. However, in the next game against Botafogo, which I already talked about, it didn't go the way that PSG expected it to, and they would lose in surprising fashion 1-0 to the Brazilian side and take a pretty big setback. But luckily for PSG, they had an opportunity to bounce back in their match against the Seattle Sounders, and they would do just that, with them dominating the match as expected, even keeping MLS side Seattle Sounders to 0 shots on target. And they scored 2 goals, one from Kvaratskhelia in the 35th minute, and one from Hakimi in the 66th minute after he sprinted from one side of the pitch to the other to score and secure that 2-0 win. But man, the 66th minute, everything reminds me of you, man. Everything. Moving past that, PSG would top this group, and this would lead them to play Inter Miami in the round 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. And let's be real, Inter Miami were never going to beat PSG. MLS roster rules and just their overall inferior squad would never in a million years beat this PSG side, even with the GOAT Lionel Messi and the likes of Luis Suarez, etc. And Inter Miami ended up getting smoked in this match. It all started in the 6th minute where Joao Neves was left wide open at the back post and scored a header to put PSG up ahead 1-0. Then in the 39th minute, Joao Neves would once again get a goal to put his side tied up 2-0. Following that in the 44th minute, Inter Miami's Avila scored an own goal, and Achraf Hakimi would add Paris' fourth in the first half alone to make it 4-0. PSG would then step off the gas in the second half, and they would keep it just at 4, and PSG would win this match easily. Literally not even me, a ballsy prediction man, would have picked Miami to beat PSG, respectfully. But shout out to Ousmane Dembele, because he finally got on the pitch at the Club World Cup after recovering from an injury, and him and Messi reconnecting after the game was mad cute, I'm not gonna lie. But now with this win, PSG had the difficult task of playing Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals, and this game was a pretty hard one to call. But to start off, let's just talk about what happened in the first half, where Bayern Munich were surprisingly all over PSG. They were having the way better chances, but then sadly, something terrible happened in added time in the first half. And after a clash between Donnarumma and Jamal Musiala, who got his first start for Bayern after like 3 months, he got injured and twisted his ankle completely and is now going to be out for a long time. In fact, it's being reported that he broke his left fibula and damaged several ligaments and will be out for 4 to 5 months. Really sad stuff seeing Jamal Musiala suffer like this, especially with him just coming back from an injury too. It sucks to see, but I'm sure Musiala is going to bounce back in due time. He's that top of a player. I guess Jurgen Klopp was right about the Club World Cup causing more interest than usual though. They doubted him, but my GOAT manager is rarely ever wrong. Anyways, then in the second half, it became even more even, but PSG were the ones who took their chances. First in the 78th minute, Desiree Doué, who was quiet all game, had his moment and finished a shot from outside the box with his weak foot to put PSG up ahead 1-0. Then although Bayern thought they got the equalizer thanks to Harry Kane's header, it was offside, and after a couple of red cards to Pacho and then Lucas Hernandez, Hakimi would have an incredible assist, getting by 3 Bayern defenders, and Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or runaway, scores a seal 2-0 win for PSG. And now I've become a fan of Ousmane Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or, because not only is he a great player, but he showed he's a great person too, with him celebrating like Diego Jota, pretending to play FIFA, showing respect to Diego Jota with that celly. I respect that. I mean, Dembele's already had my respect, but you know what I mean. So with PSG getting past Bayern Munich, they had another difficult task of playing Real Madrid in the semifinals. You know, the side that's won the most Champions Leagues in history, and the club who took arguably PSG's best ever player and Kylian Mbappe for free. Yeah, that's who they had to face. But the thing is, Real Madrid were heading into this tournament as a trophyless side. They had a really poor season, but yet I low-key predicted Real Madrid to make the Club World Cup final. Yeah, I went over 2 of my semifinal predictions.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm never being the jinx to allegations, am I? Listen, I just thought PSG's red cards against Bayern were going to affect them more than Huijsen's red card, but I was completely wrong. I didn't realize Raul Asensio was such a mid center back. Not only did he give away a penalty in the match against Al Hilal and got subbed off at halftime, and also getting a straight red card against Pachuca 7 minutes into the game, but he also had an error leading to PSG's first goal, where all he had to do was clear the ball, but he just sat on it, and Dembele stole it off of him, and Fabian Ruiz scored in the 6th minute to give PSG an early lead in this game. Wow, man, not a good start for Real Madrid. But even with them missing Huijsen and Trent because of injury, they still had the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo. Actually, he didn't play at all. Oops. Gonzalo Garcia, Bellingham, etc. Surely they can come back, right? Nope, because just 3 minutes later, Rudiger made a mistake this time, and Ousmane Dembele took the ball off of him and scored to make it 2-0 for PSG in just the first 10 minutes of the game. Bro secured the Ballon d'Or, I'm so sure of it. And regarding Real Madrid, Rudiger and Asensio are the right and left cheek of this side, bro. No wonder they want Konate desperately on a free. But listen, it's only 2 goals. I'm sure Real Madrid could have a remontada. But no, Fabian Ruiz scored in the 24th minute. And then for the icing on the cake, Gonzalo Ramos came on the pitch as a substitute and scored in the 87th minute to make it a 4-0 win for PSG. And he celebrated as a tribute to Diego Jota. You love to see it. But that's right, Real Madrid might low-key be on the same level as Inter Miami right now. They concede the same amount of goals after all. That is crazy work. I put my faith in Real Madrid and they let me down. They made me look like a fool, bruh. I felt like I was actually beating the jinx to allegations this summer. But nope. Well, actually, I think I might have been the one that jinxed Real Madrid again. Because I was texting my homie who was at the game and I said Madrid will win. And then I had to text him 10 minutes later saying my fault, I might have jinxed the game. Yeah, sorry Madrid fans, this one might be on me. But enough of that now. It's time to talk about the final between Chelsea and PSG and who I got winning this one. And listen, I'm just gonna keep this one short and simple because we all know the answer. There is no upset happening. I mean, bro, of course I gotta go with the super team PSG to win the first ever edition of this new FIFA Club World Cup. I am not crazy enough to pick Chelsea. And I know the Chelsea fans in the comment section right now are probably gassed I didn't pick them. But PSG are such a strong side that they can't be jinxed. The Jinxbuto has no effect on the side. That's how good they are. And shout out to Arne Slot and Liverpool, by the way, because we're still the only side that gave them the most trouble this season for real. And regarding Chelsea, y'all should low-key just forfeit the game, bro. There's respectfully no chance that you're winning this one. But now with my prediction out of the way, who do you guys got winning the FIFA Club World Cup final between Chelsea and PSG? Let me know down in the comments. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. I really appreciate it. And please be sure to follow my Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and join the Discord community. All the links from my YouTube description. And last but not least, if you want to learn about everything that happened in the June international window regarding 2026 World Cup qualifiers, you definitely want to check out this video right here. You won't regret it.